I came across an article saying that NaNoWriMo nonprofit is going to close down. And as I was reading it, I'm not all that surprised. For anyone that's been following over the last few years, there have been a number of controversies, specifically, content moderation problems and stance on AI. Really did had a really big impact on them, especially last year. And it looks like they're also going through some financial challenges, according to this Publisher's Weekly article that was just published a couple of days ago. But the reason that I'm making this video is NaNoWriMo was a challenge that I've done a couple of times. I didn't really participate a lot in the community, and so a lot of the controversies and stuff I didn't really pay attention to. I just kind of in this space, being a writer, I do tend to get things in my feed, but it's not something that I spend a lot of time on. But with this article in particular, I thought it'd be worth kind of making a video because I think that there is one thing that I hope lives on, and that people continue to do for themselves, and that is learning the value of setting a goal, tracking that writing goal every day, and using it to finish a project. So coming to my dashboard, in 2023, I set out to do this challenge. I wanted to hit every single milestone that they had and really do the challenge, the way that it was intended. And so every day I set the goal that I would write at minimum 1,667 words. And then if I wrote more than that, great. I wasn't going to reduce the number of words that I wrote the next day as a result, which I'd done in previous years. It was about having the discipline to sit down and write every single day. And here from my overall progress, you can see, every single day I wrote. And the bar graph here kind of shows how that increases. And every day I would put in a progress update, and sometimes a couple if I ended up managing to write a little bit more. But it made a huge difference for me. I found that tracking the data, and adding a visual element, having these graphs to show me, the day that I wrote the most and just kind of my average writing every day, and that helped me a lot. But being consistent as an artist, I think is hard for most people, especially for me. I spent a lot of years writing inconsistently. So I'd write a few words one day, maybe a couple of pages another day. Sometimes I'd let a week go by. And then I'd be frustrated that I didn't feel like I was making any progress. And when I forced myself to have a goal and a deadline and to put it in there and not really worry so much about, everything has to be perfect, it was just about getting it done, it made a huge difference for me. And since then, I have continued to write almost every single day since November of 2023. I've had different goals and different objectives as I've written. Sometimes the goal is more about editing. I want to edit a certain number of pages today and do that every day until I finish a book. Or sometimes it's outlining. It's like I need to outline this many sections, or I need to spend this amount, like 30 minutes every day working on one specific aspect of my book or writing. And I didn't build anything quite like this, but I took what I enjoyed, and I enjoyed the daily tracking of progress. And I just built myself a simple spreadsheet. So we'll kind of zoom in here a little bit, and you can see what I did. But I actually started this kind of in line with NaNoWriMo, where I would put in the day, the draft I was working on, the chapter I was working on at the time. I thought about tracking time, and I didn't do that for this specific project, but I have done that on others. I did my starting word count, my ending word count, and then just used a simple formula here to calculate the new words that I'd written. And then I decided to pause for NaNoWriMo and actually just start over. So I did that, and every single day for that whole month, I just tracked, what chapter I was working on, starting word count, ending word count, and the number of new words. And sometimes if I deleted stuff, I would track that as well, how many words I got rid of. And sometimes that actually happens a lot more than I think, but I thought that was valuable. Something that really, really worked for me. And it has completely changed my writing process. I have been way more consistent. So I'm hoping that with NaNoWriMo going away, that authors and people who aspire to write and to finish things will, find a way to continue doing the challenge. Because the challenge and everything you learn from applying yourself is super valuable, and I want that to live on. And I hope it does, and this is my way of how I've got the principles to live on, and it's something that I do every day. And it doesn't matter that the organization NaNoWriMo is going away. For me, the challenge has become a daily and monthly effort rather than just once a year or 1 month out of the year. And I hope that, for you, it can be the same. I appreciate you sticking around, watching this video this long. If you enjoyed the video, would like to follow the channel, subscribe, like the video, and share it with others. Really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching.